Okay, so I'm starting a new training block and a massing phase? How much do I get to eat? Friday's workout finished off a deload week, which closed out my current macro cycle of training. In my case, deload weeks are a period of reduced volume and intensity of training. They're pre-planned. They take place at the end of each mesocycle. And so that can be once every 3 weeks, or usually 5 weeks, and then a deload. In the first half of the week, the volume is cut by 50% over whatever you were doing in the first week of the mesocycle. So if you did 2 sets of 10 for 150 pounds for an exercise in the first week of the mesocycle, in your deload, you would do 2 sets of 5 at that weight, even though you had gone up in weight over the course of the mesocycle. In the second half of the deload week, your intensity, or the weight on the bar, also drops by 50%. So in that first example of doing 2 sets of 10 of 150 pounds in the first week, by the end of your deload week, you'd be doing 2 sets of 5 at 75 pounds. So it's almost like just doing some warm-up sets and then you're gone. By the time you get to a deload week, usually you're pretty tired, pretty fatigued, but you still like going to the gym, and so doing just this kind of lightweight is quite a change of pace. And I always used to think I was getting funny looks at the gyms when I went to, because it would be, doing dumbbell curls with 15 pounds or something, and people would be looking at you when you do 6 reps and are done. The goal of this is to allow you to recover from that harder training that you've been going through and kind of resensitize you so you're ready to go into the next mesocycle or the next block of training, depending on where your program is at. Next week, I'll be starting a new program, the Renaissance Periodization Male Physique template with the chest and back focus. Now, I've only been training consistently with weights for about 15 months at this time, so a specialization period usually isn't the best idea. You can get similar gains by doing a more full-bodied, evenly split routine, but I've been having kind of a nagging ache on the outside part of my left thigh, so I was looking for a program that keeps the leg volume pretty low. And the chest and back focus actually has the lowest leg volume of any of the 3 Renaissance Periodization programs that I bought. So it's a win-win for me. It's a new program, higher volumes, but less stress on the leg, as I kind of still am working on rehabilitating it. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. For the last 3 months, I've been doing a full body program with exercises for each body part each of the 5 days that I worked out. Due to some time constraints, I had to keep the program to between 8 to 10 sets per body part per week, with a total of generally 13 sets per day. And that kept my workout to about an hour in length. This was so I had time to get from my house to the gym, shower after the workout, and make it to work on time. The chest and back program starts with between 7 and 13 sets per body part per week and auto-regulates from there based on how you recover and react to the training. If things seem pretty easy, you do end up doing more sets each week. If it's hard, you stay the same or you lower the sets per week. The intensity, or the weight on the bar in this program, actually goes up about 2% every week. So you're doing consistently more and more weight, and trying to get the same number of repetitions. Between having set up my home gym, which you see behind me here, and the COVID-19 related business shutdowns, time restraints are not something I'm working with right now, so having workouts go more than an hour isn't a problem. Based on the last time I ran this program, workouts can easily get up to 90 minutes per day, especially day 5. But I have the time to do that now, so I might as well take advantage of it. With this new program, I'm also starting a massing phase in my diet, meaning I want to gain some weight. And so I have to figure out, how much can I eat? The first step to this is figuring out how many calories you need to eat in order to maintain your current weight. If you're just kind of starting out, you can go online. There's a number of different calculators you can find out there. I'll link a few in the description, where you put in your height, weight, gender, age, and it'll give you an idea of what your maintenance calories are. In my case, I've been recording how many calories I eat every day for most of the last 2 years, so I have a different way to go about figuring out my maintenance. You probably know the rule of thumb about a pound of body weight equals 3,500 calories. This is usually put in the form of, if you want to lose a pound, you have to eat 3,500 calories less than you eat 3,500 calories less than you consume in order to lose that weight. This holds true for gaining weight as well. So if you want to gain a pound, you need to eat 3,500 calories more than you burn. The extra calories gives your body the energy it needs to grow. So if you know how many calories you've been eating and how much your weight has changed, it's pretty easy to figure out how many calories you're actually burning. Subtract 3,500 times the weight you've lost from the calories consumed, and you'll get how many calories you actually burned. You subtract because if you lost weight, you get a negative amount of calories. So basically you're adding if you lost weight, subtracting if you gained weight. Then you just need to divide that down to get the period you're working with, so days. So, if you're looking at an 8-week period and you're totaling up your calories and how much weight you lost, you divide those by 56 to get down to a daily amount. With this in mind, I can just select a period of time, and this can be tricky, and average out the number of calories I've eaten every day over that period. In my case, that works out to I've eaten 2,580 calories average per day over the last 8 weeks. Over that same period, the change in my rolling 7-day average weight has been a 3-pound loss. Using an average, like a 7-day average for weight, is a little better than just picking a data point, because then it kind of gets rid of some of the more extreme fluctuations you can see in your body weight. So 3 pounds over 8 weeks works out to about 0.05 pounds per day. That works out to a deficit, because I lost weight over that period of time, of about 180 calories a day. So if you add that into my average of 2,580 calories that I've been consuming, that means I actually burned 2,760 calories. So that's my maintenance level. Since my goal is to gain weight, I need to figure out, well, how much more do I need to eat to gain that amount? So we use a similar process to figure out that amount. Since I'm an older trainee, chances are I'm not going to gain muscle as fast as I might if I were younger. I'm also formerly obese, so there's a good chance I'm going to gain fat a lot faster than I would if I was younger or had been lean forever. So I'm going to want to keep my rate of gain pretty slow, and the slowest I have set up for is about 0.25% per week. So in my case, it's about half a pound. So if we plug that into our formula, we find out that to gain half a pound a week, you need 3,500 times 0.5 is 1,750, which works out to a 250 calorie surplus per day is what I need to add to my maintenance to gain weight, or roughly 3,000 calories. Now that sounds kind of complicated to do that. Luckily, I have a spreadsheet that I've built that's kind of grown over time that lets me plug all this in, and it does it automatically. So it looks at how much my weight has changed, how many calories I eat, and I can tell it what my goal is as far as gaining or losing weight, and it gives me the new total. It makes it a lot easier, and I'll go over that in another video. So you've worked out how many calories you need to eat to start gaining at the rate you want. Maintaining that rate of gain is kind of a moving target as you go through a training block. Setting aside the challenges of just simply tracking your calories to begin with, you also have the fact that as you go through your training block, your volume is going up, your intensity is going up, and that means the number of calories you're burning is likely going up. So you need to repeat this process periodically to adjust your intake to what's actually happening to you during the diet. In my case, I'll likely update this every couple weeks to see where I'm on the track. So if I'm gaining a little too fast, I'll lower the amount of calories that I'm eating. If I'm not gaining as fast as I would like, I'll increase the amount of calories and hopefully keep me on that half a pound a week over the course of the time for the mass phase, which I haven't really firmly decided, but it's probably going to be 12 weeks. I hope that all makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you next week.